Good morning and welcome to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I am your host, not Diana. I am Tim Elliott. Diana is out today. She would be normally here, so it worked out that I could fill in. I am here with super producer Nick Stephens. Good morning, Nick.
Good morning.
What's new today? I got you out a little bit early today.
Yeah, a little early. I'm already here anyway, so what is new with me? Kind of a boring point in my life. It's kind of a low point in the week.
You're at a transition point here, aren't you?
Yeah, Jade's moving in. We got a lot of her stuff moved in. There's going to be one last load on Sunday, but it's for the most part, we're moved in.
So far, your stuff is staying where it needs to stay.
Well, it's in a box right now. It's about to be taken to Goodwill.
Well, glad everybody can be here today. The weather outside is delightful. Mm-hmm. I am in golf attire today, Nick.
Are you going to go golfing?
I am golfing. I usually take Wednesday afternoons off. Mm-hmm. But today there's a sectional meet, a boys sectional meet.
Oh, yes.
Boys high school. And I volunteered to be a ball spotter for that. So I'm in my golf attire this morning.
Nice.
I'll go help out with that when we get done here. That's why we started. So, weather outside is nice, and my paper says 70 degrees and mostly sunny. Mm-hmm. Loving that. It's warmer than average from what the KCRG says. Mm-hmm. Only supposed to, not quite.
I'll take it.
We're going to be like almost 80 today.
I think it's supposed to, at least in Mount Pleasant, it's supposed to hit 80.
That'll be nice. Local events, Nick. We're just going to keep moving. We had the craft fair last weekend. That was packed. Mm-hmm. Although I wasn't here, I had some softball stuff I had to go to. But the vendors were everywhere, so I'm sure that was a big success. Corn Country Cruisers are in Central Park this weekend. That will be Sunday, I think. Sunday. Again, I get to enjoy that from my deck.
You big car guy?
I like cars. Mm-hmm. I don't know a lot about cars. I wish I had.
You know which ones look good, but
wished I had like a.
You're not gonna check under the engine and know it's all the bells and whistles.
4-barrel. I don't know. A lot of carburetors in most of those cars, which those things don't hardly exist anymore. But that's always a fun thing. Farmers Market. I meant to say earlier, our guest today is Sarah Grunewaldt. I'm sorry, Sarah.
That's okay.
But we're going to talk to you more in a bit. And I'm sure we'll get to talk about Farmers Market, which is opening this Wednesday, next Thursday on the 18th. We have Kids Fest coming up on the 19th of next week. What else in there? That's downtown Washington. That murder mystery dinner at the Victorian View venue. I talked about that a little bit last week. I don't know if I can make that, but I'm still kind of thinking that'd be a fun deal. That's on the 20th. And we'll talk to Sarah more about the Farm to Film Fest, which is coming up the 20th and 21st. And there's something, the public library is doing something. Armchair Adventures. Something about Iceland.
They always got good things going on over at the library.
Yeah. And something we'll get our eyes on just a little bit soon. We got the Summer Classic coming up in downtown Washington, June 1st through the 3rd. But I'm sure we'll be talking more about that the rest of as days go by here. Yep. Anything you want to add? Anything you need to add? We'll talk more about your stuff.
We got police report.
Police report. They've been busy the last few days. Lots of traffics and animals. 12 traffic, 7 animals, 3 fire calls. That rain surely helped. Some of that fire. The old, somebody in Riverside is doing the old knock on the doors and run trick.
Yeah, they call it in. It's either a poltergeist or kids being kids.
And it was after May Day, so it shouldn't be that.
Yeah, no baskets were left.
No. What else? We have somebody was spotted in a vehicle wearing a leopard shirt. Mm-hmm. The caller made note of that.
Yes.
That the vehicle was running and she had her foot on the gas but was not moving.
Yes. And then they showed up and they were gone. So I assumed just took a nap, and I hope that's what happened.
Sometimes you just need a minute.
Yep. I hope that's what the conclusion to that story is. They didn't put an ending to it.
What's most interesting to me is she had a leopard shirt.
Yeah, I'm glad they took note of that.
We had some welfare checks. Somebody was called the police and said there looks like there's somebody in the car that's not able to drive. That turned out to be untrue.
I would kind of take offense to that. If someone called me in, they said they don't look fit to drive.
And maybe they weren't, but I don't know. Some things in Iowa City. Somebody called in and said that the landlord won't take his rent check from his parents.
He's worried that they won't.
Oh, okay. He's worried that they won't because he's having visions because he believes he's a clairvoyant.
Yeah. So there's no problem yet. But he's a clairvoyant, so he knows there's going to be a problem.
He's being.
What's the saying? It's it's good to be proactive instead of reactive. That's all he's doing.
He's being proactive. Well, I'm glad he's in Iowa City being proactive. And somebody hacked a DoorDash. Do you DoorDash or?
There's only like one place in Mount Pleasant that DoorDashes, but I was going to ask you with that. If someone came to your house with a pizza, like in this scenario, I said, "Here's your pizza." Would you be a good enough man to say that's not my pizza? Would you take the free pizza?
First of all, I'd say, what kind of pizza did I order? I would say, I don't think that's my pizza, but if you have nothing else to do with it, I would just pay for it and probably eat it if I like it.
You're a better man than me. I would take the free pizza.
Well, in this world, AI's coming, who knows what's going to happen. AI might start ordering pizzas for whomever.
Yeah, it's going to know that you're hungry before you even do, and
isn't that going to be something? I read Kalen had a long piece in the.
Yeah, it was his good call.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
but I read it word for word. So Kalen, if you're listening,
just shout and he'll hear us.
Okay, let's take a break before we get to our guest today, Sarah Grunewaldt.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank. Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
What did 0 say to 8? Nice belt. Put a belt around a 0.
Oh, got it.
Good morning and welcome back to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I'm your host, Tim Elliott. We have super producer Nick to my right, and to my left is my good friend, Sarah Grunewaldt, our guest for the day.
Hi, Tim. How are you?
Hi, Sarah. Good morning. What's happening?
Oh, so many things.
What brings you to the studio today?
Oh my goodness. Well, I am the co-chair for the Farm to Film Fest, so I was given the task of coming and talking to you guys about what we're doing in a couple of weeks here.
Such a big task.
It's such a huge task, but it's really exciting. Things are happening.
I'm pumped about this because those that don't know, Sarah and I have some history through another organization, and this has been talked about for some time, and it's now coming to fruition. So you and your group have done awesome.
Yeah, we started talking about this, back in 2018 or 2019 during a visioning session for Main Street. Michael Wagler was here, and we got kind of our feet underneath us, and I think I made the big announcement we're going to be having a film fest at the March 2020 annual dinner, and 2 weeks later, the entire world shut down for a whole bunch of time. And so about a year ago, we reconvened and started planning, and Lyle Moen, who's my co-chair, he and his wife have traveled all over Iowa going to film fests and doing research. And the Oneota Film Fest, which is in Decorah, their director, Nancy, has been very generous with her time and their resources, and she's actually going to come be a guest the weekend we host.
Nice.
But she gave us like their work plans and their budgets and access to their board, and just kind of like opened the doors of like, what questions do you have? We'd love to help you. And they've been doing it for 15 or 20 years now. And so it was really a good roadmap for us to how we wanted to proceed moving forward, and got a board together, and here we are. It's less than 2 weeks away.
So there's lots of categories. I've read a little bit about this. There's lots of categories, but doesn't seem to be at all a shortage of films to be presented that are being presented at these.
We have 8 categories, and then we had over 60 films submitted from all over the world. In fact, we have some from out of the country. And then we basically broke our board up into 2 teams, and each team was assigned about half of the films. So we each reviewed 30 odd films, and scored them, and then got back together and put all of our scores together. And the top 36 are the films that are going to be shown.
Awesome. So tell me how that day's going to look. That's 2 days.
It's 2 full days. Basically, we have 4 locations we're showing films. So the library in the Nicholas Stouffer Room, Art Domestique, the Patricia's Room at Dodici Shop, and then City Hall, the council chambers. We're going to show films there. And each of those locations is assigned a selection of films, and we will be showing those films multiple times in those locations. So we have a full schedule. It's on our website. Otherwise, we'll have booklets with the full schedule inside. But if you have 2 different films at the same time you want to go to, you have multiple opportunities to catch them.
Okay, so you're going to have kind of a schedule of what's going on at each location. There'll be a place to buy tickets or what have you.
Yep, there's no tickets. Okay. We have check-in available when we start on Saturday morning at the State Theater, and then our home base is the Blair House. So people can pop into the Blair House and get a badge and sign in and give us your email, just so we have access, so we can follow up with a survey afterwards to make sure we improve what we do this year.
So I have to apologize. I've not gone to your website yet. Is there early sign up for this?
Nope, it's just the day of.
The day of.
Yep, we'll have registration, and the May 20th date and 10 a.m. we're going to be hosting an opening kickoff at the State Theater, which I'm really thankful for the State Theater, because we wanted to show off. We have this beautiful gem of a building on top of being historic and putting kind of us on the roadmap across the world for being the first to do films in Iowa. But we also didn't want to interrupt their regular business hours. So we're doing our opening session there with Mike Zoss, who's going to give a little history. And so 10 a.m., come in a few minutes early, grab your badge. They'll have the concessions open. So if you like breakfast popcorn,
hey, popcorn's not just for movies.
I know,
anymore.
right? But they're going to have that all opened up, and people can explore the theater a little bit before they go ahead and show. I think they have a Marvel movie, which is also great. But we wanted to use it for movies, but we didn't want to interrupt their regular business. So we're going to just do our kickoff and let them focus on big budget movies.
Good. I don't go to the movie often, but I have just recently. There was one that my grandkids wanted to go to. I just love going in there. We went up to the balcony, and they thought that was just the coolest thing.
Yeah.
And
it's
a cool place.
It's a cool place, and we're really fortunate that it's in our community and operating and showing first-run movies.
Yeah, indeed. Gosh, I had another question about this. Anything else you want to share? There was another question. Maybe it'll pop back into my head on the film fest.
It's just, we're excited about it. We've got, I think this morning in my email, we have 17 filmmakers who are coming, and we're going to do a filmmaker reception on Saturday evening. So that's at the library. People are welcome to attend, ask questions, talk to the filmmakers. We're getting the fountain up and running early. So really downtown, it's going to be its best version of itself. I love spring in downtown. It's great. Everything's so fresh and bright, and the parks guys do a great job getting it ready, and it's just going to be a great weekend.
Where that park really gets used throughout the season, and
it does.
And you can see the bare spots in the grass that happen from all that use, but they are getting it back in tip-top shape quick.
Yep.
Dang, I had a good question about that. Let's talk about, you're also involved with the farmers market. Tell me a little bit about that.
So farmers market is starting next Thursday, the 18th. It'll be our 35th season. I have not been involved for 35 years. I would have been one or two. But we're really excited. We had a great vendor meeting a couple weeks ago with a lot of new vendors, new food trucks coming. We've expanded the food truck program.
Yeah.
So we're going to have 2 trucks on Thursday nights, starting that first market all the way through the season. And then we have a special guest spot, which is on the Iowa Avenue side, for JT Sips is going to be there quite often doing teas and coffees and stuff. But then we also have some special guests that have trailers that sell other products too. So that'll be kind of exciting, something new.
That farmers market has grown exponentially in the last 5 years.
Yeah, we went from, on average, during the busy season, I think the first year I was involved, about 25 to 30 vendors during like the height of produce. And we're up to, on average, that when market starts. And by the time we get produce in, we're up over 50.
And that's something.
It is something. It has grown exponentially. And I think Bob has been around since the beginning. He's the founder. He's the basic structure of the market has been the same, but he's also been willing to let us kind of crash in and be like, okay, what can we try? What can we do new? And so, a couple years ago, we added the Farm Fables book program, which this year we have it for all 22 weeks. We usually start it a little later and end a little early, but we're going all 22 weeks. We have those sponsorships sold. We've been able to expand it so we'll have a broader range of reading levels. So we'll have things from those early readers, which is what we started with, all the way to chapter books for older kids. So we really encourage families to come and have their kids grab a book and check out what the market has to offer, because it's incredible.
It is incredible, and people are there early, and they will stay as long as those vendors will stay open. And I think there's time limit on that.
Yeah,
too.
so we're there 5 to 7:30. The vendors, if it starts to get slow, they might leave a little bit early, but generally speaking, most people are there right till 7:30.
Just great crowds. And even if you just go out and walk around, you're going to find somebody to talk to, somebody you know.
Yeah.
It's just amazing the amount of people that go.
It's a great social event. And on top of all of that, it's also an event for our businesses too. We have the Business Spotlight program or the Nonprofit Guest Spotlight. So like community organizations, we welcome you to come and have a booth a couple of times throughout the season and hand out information. We allow nonprofits to do fundraisers. So if they want to sell products, I know last year we had somebody that did some pizzas like Little Caesars, whatever.
Oh, really?
It's just for nonprofits, okay? That's one of our big rules. Like, you have to make it yourself if you're a vendor, but like for nonprofits, we'll give you okay, yeah, it's fine. But like we encourage that because it just helps the community know all the amazing things that are going on.
Yeah, awesome. I think I have some other questions, but let's take a little break, Nick, and we'll get back with Sarah after this brief timeout.
Since 1905, Kelowna Cooperative Technology Company has helped our community stay connected with the latest advancements in clear, dependable telecommunications services. KCTC provides rural Iowans with access to high-speed fiber internet, as well as phone, television, computer repair, and cybersecurity solutions. We're also proud supporters of local organizations and area schools within the community. KCTC, keeping Kelowna connected.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
Tammy takes the time and has the personal interest in each one of us. I don't worry about what's going to happen because I know my policy is taken care of.
She pulls what I need and puts it together, which is the program I get from her.
Every year she calls around September or so and says, there's changes again, and I'm going to do the best thing for you. It's been perfect. She does a great job.
Good morning and welcome back to Washington Live, powered by KCTC. I am Tim Elliott, your host for today, and Nick Steffens to my right, and our guest today is Sarah Grunewaldt, who is still very active in Washington with the Farm to Film Fest, as well as the 22-week, which I didn't really know until today, Sarah, 22-week Farmers Market, which kicks off next Thursday.
Yeah.
So Sarah, I did remember my question.
You got it now.
When we're talking about these films, we're not talking about a 2-hour film per se.
Not necessarily, yeah.
There could be, but there's short films. I suppose that's part of your classifications.
Yes.
Short films and...
Yeah, so there's documentary short and documentary feature, which feature can be anything up to an hour or more. We have a couple that are about an hour and a half. And then there's also narrative short and narrative feature, which is the same length categories. So if we have a series of short films, so some of them are like 6 minutes long, some of them are like 20 minutes long, we will lump a few together that kind of fit in the same category. So you'll see several films in one sitting, and it'll be like an hour or so of showings. And then those longer ones will be featured by themselves. So you'll have, I think at the most people will be sitting is about an hour and a half.
Okay. So none of these... I've never been to a film fest. I suspect you have been to many now, if you hadn't before.
I have been to a few, but not many. Okay. Lyle has been to many.
Okay. So these are all going to be probably more modern. In my mind, I think of the Britain stuff. Although there could be some of that. Not really. It's all going to be more modern stuff.
It's going to be more modern stuff. It's an interesting... It's not going to be like going to the movies, I guess is how I'd phrase it, because a lot of these, there are some, the narrative category could be made up stories that people are telling. But like the documentaries are about real life subjects. There's definitely some history behind some of these where they're explaining a scenario that happened. Or we do have some from like Practical Farmers of Iowa that are talking about ag and nitrates in soil. We have a documentary on dairy farmers. So we got quite a few ag films, which neither here nor there. We're the Farm to Film Fest, and I think people kind of got stuck on the name a little bit. But we did get a lot from a wide plethora of subject matters.
Neat. This is so cool. I'm so glad that this is coming to fruition. I hope that everybody can take advantage of this that has some interest, even if you're just curious. This is something I know I'm curious.
Yeah.
Tell us again how one learns about the schedule and.
Sure. So we're on Facebook. We also have our website, which is farmtofilmfest.org. So please go visit that. It has the full, at the top, the tabs are the award winners, also the list of films and the schedule. You can download it. We'll have booklets that are going out around town probably this weekend. So you'll pick up a copy at the library, or some of the coffee shops will have them to peruse through. And then we'll have copies for people when they come sign up. And sign up is at the Blair House all weekend, or of the 20th and 21st, and then the State Theater the morning of the opening session.
Very good. Looking forward to that. I hope my schedule allows to at least get away one of those days, if not both.
And even if you can only devote an hour to it, stop by one of the locations and see one of the movies and get an idea of what we're doing. The plan is to do this again next year, so.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Anything else that you need to cover? Did we catch everything?
I don't think
You
so.
have good notes over there.
I did. I like made sure I had my numbers down because I was like, but we have all the award winners. We've got 17 filmmakers coming. Nick was asking like what the filmmaker reception is going to look like. It's kind of open to the public to come ask questions. All of their films will be shown on Saturday, and then I believe we'll have some light hors d'oeuvres and just let people mingle and chat.
Very good. Sarah, thanks for coming in and sharing.
Of course.
Although we're not done.
No.
We have the birthday
I
game
believe
we have
that
to play,
the
but
bloodbath is coming. Yeah.
Prior to that, it's National Day. Today, May 10th.
Yep, it is.
Sarah? Mm-hmm. It's National Clean Up Your Room Day.
Fair.
So,
Do you need to clean up your room?
I'm basically fairly clean. I don't have to do much cleaning.
I feel like I feel like I'm going to go home and realize I probably do need to do some cleaning.
Although,
I mean, it's not like a
Well,
kid's
you've got
room
someone
with
moving in, so that, you know.
Yeah, well, I'll blame that.
Yeah.
The house is never clean when someone's moving in.
Oh, no.
It gets way worse before it gets better.
Yeah. So there's mattresses and boxes thrown around.
Well, it's just me and Patty. We're just...
It was just me. I have no excuse.
Well, you don't, Nick. Other than you don't care.
Other than I'm a 23-year-old guy that lived alone for a year.
And that's all you need.
That's
all right. So if you haven't done it yet, you still have time to clean up your room. And it doesn't say specifically.
You don't get dessert unless you clean up your room.
But Mom always said, go clean your room. If
Yep.
you didn't have anything else to do, go clean your room or run
and then
around the
just shove everything under your bed and in your closet, and it's fun.
It works. Famous birthdays, Nick. This is where I've learned Sarah and I really excel.
Yeah.
So I think the rules might have changed since last time
okay.
we've been on. So I'm going to put celebrities' birthdays on the screen, and you guess their age. If you're within 3 years, you get a point.
Okay.
If you're right on, you get 2 points. We might have been doing golf scoring the last time
I
you
don't
were on.
remember what our scoring was. I just remember that I'm terrible at guessing ages.
It was too much math for me, and so we've changed it. The first celebrity is Kenan Thompson.
Okay.
It was on Nickelodeon.
Mm-hmm.
Kenan and Kel, and then he was on all that, and now he's on SNL. I'm trying to think about, I don't know if he does like any other acting outside of SNL.
Oh, and Kenan and Kel is coming back.
Oh, I did see that, and
they're making a new Good Burger movie,
and I'm so excited about that. It's Good Burger is one of the dumbest movies ever, but it's also one of my favorite movies.
Well, you guys got knowledge that I don't. I'm good. Would you like me to guess first?
Yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna say Kenan is 49.
I think he's closer to 41.
You guys were both so close. He is 45. You guys are both 4 years off. Next up,
points. That's good for me.
Next up, we have Bono.
What's his real name?
Bono.
That requires Google.
I'll look it up.
Okay. I can go first.
No, I'm just trying to like do weird math in my head and see if
Paul David Hewson.
Of course.
Because yeah,
Bono's
looks
cool.
like a Paul David.
I'm gonna guess 65.
Ooh. I was gonna say 63.
Gonna lock in 63.
I'm gonna lock in 63.
Well, he is 63. So
there you go.
That's 2 points, isn't it?
Yeah, 2-1. Sarah also got a point.
Lead, Sarah. They can all go away.
They could all go away closely.
The next one is Chris Berman, Boomer, the sportscaster or commentator.
I got a number.
You go first.
72.
It's gonna go 67.
Ooh, you probably have me.
He is 68, so we're tied up. 2-2, going into the final round.
I told you. That's how quick it comes and goes for me.
So
How old was he again?
He was 68.
I'll be dang.
Another new rule is that we play a bonus round, which is worth double points. It is the least famous person of the day.
The least famous person of the day?
Yes, and today
Pronounce the name.
I'm going to butcher it as well. It is Brogan Idstein, who is a Australian pastry chef.
Okay.
Yeah, I've heard of her.
Was she on like Zumbo's Just Desserts or one of those
She was
like
on-
random Netflix shows?
I looked it up. She was on like Channel 7 in Australia. They have like their baking show, kind of like the Great British Bake Off, except Australian. She was a contender on there.
Okay.
So it was our
You
least famous.
really had to look hard to find
I have to. Well, sometimes I have to like go to their Twitters or like their personal Instagrams and like to get a recent photo, which kind of feels a little invasive, but it's all public.
My goodness.
Okay.
28.
24.
She is 30. So Sarah, you win.
Yes!
I shouldn't hang my head. I should be proud for my guest for continuing my losing streak. Congratulations, Sarah. I don't know. We've got trophies somewhere.
Yeah, they're in the corner in a box if you really,
Oh, no.
you really want one.
Oh, we had a guest that put that in front of my face. Although it's down, I have to go look for it.
I gotta tell her she needs to put it in the windowsill, so that way you see it every day.
It's so large. Well, that's our show for today. Sarah, thanks again for showing up. I enjoyed seeing you again. Nick, thanks for all you do. Until the next show, thank